What's going on, guys? We're back with, I guess it would be part 4 of PTSD. As you can see, I'm driving like normal. Just got back taking a camper out to Southern California, and we're in Arizona now, and headed back home, headed back east. But y'all just had to sort of forgive me if I sort of get off topic, because I didn't write none of this down. I'm just sort of going over it on the top of my head as it comes to me. So hopefully I'll get everything. But today's topic is going to be, put this radio down. Today's topic is going to be living with someone with PTSD. Basically, what can make it easier for you to deal with it, as well as help supporting the person that has PTSD. Let them know that you support them. Let them know that you understand them. That you're there for them. Let them know that they are not alone. Let them know that you love them. So basically, one of the things is one of the main things is just be supportive. That's pretty much the main thing. Just be supportive and understanding. And like I said, just let them know that you're there for them, that you're not trying to rush them and anything like that. So, like I said in some of the other videos, that like with a person with PTSD, then anything can trigger a moment that they have. And I mean, it can come in a split second. They can be having the best day that they've ever had, and then just all of a sudden, just the sight of something, the smell, hearing something can set it off, and it can change them in just a split second. So I may use, instead of saying the person with PTSD, I may say veterans, because that's mainly what I'm talking about. But like I've said in previous videos, that anybody can have PTSD. But like I said before, is that most of the time, not always, but most veterans are not going to get out. They don't like to get out in public and go into crowds and places where there's loud noises and things like that. They just don't like it. Sometimes they would, a lot of things that they may have used to enjoy doing, then, and if y'all been together for a long time, then, and if they don't like doing those things anymore, don't take it as, well, they don't love me anymore, or they don't care about me anymore. No. It's whatever caused them to change. And it's not necessarily your fault. So don't get upset if y'all used to go out to eat, or go to the movies, or go to the beach, go on vacations, all that kind of stuff. And like, say for an example, if a veteran just got back from deployment, don't just try, I know that you want to, but just don't just try just to rush back into the way things used to be. Because what they went through was life-changing. And So now they're trying to, just like whenever they got over there, they had to adapt and adjust to that lifestyle. And now they're having to do the same thing whenever they come back home. And veterans have that brotherhood. And most time whenever they get back home, you don't have that anymore. So, but like if y'all do happen to go out to eat or go to the movies or out in a crowd or something like that, and if they sit there and tell you that, hey, it's time to go, don't sit there and, well, it'll be all right, and just one more minute and stuff like that. No, because the only thing you're doing is making it worse for them. And so if they tell you it's time to go, that's exactly what they mean. It's time to go. If they get up and just walk out of the room or walk out of the restaurant or the movies or wherever you're at, don't get upset. But a good thing to do in a situation like that is you two have a safe word. So if y'all are out in a public place and if he says the word blue or whatever safe word you come up with, if he says that word, that's him giving you the sign it's time to go. So, and you need to be supportive of that. You need to let him know that you support him in his decision, or her, I'm sorry, but in their decision. So then in return, then they know that they can trust you. So if another thing, get to know what your partner, their facial expressions, anything like that, maybe the tone of their voice, because I guarantee you that you know the tone of their voice or their facial expression or anything like that whenever they get upset. There's no difference in getting to know those expressions whenever he's going through, or whenever they're going through an anxiety or something like that. So if you can get to do that and be able to tell those expressions, then you'll be able to know that it's time to go without them even having to say anything. So that's one thing. Another thing is, if they're being quiet or whatever, and don't sit there and ask them, well, did I do something wrong, or what did I do, or what's your problem, or stuff like that. Don't do that, because the only thing you're going to do is make it worse, and then you're basically pushing him into a corner, or them. And normally whenever a veteran gets pushed into a corner, then basically the way that we've been trained, and especially if we've been overseas, then whenever you get pushed into a corner, then basically your survival mode kicks in. So, and you're going to try to fight your way out of it. So, not saying anything's going to get physical. I hope it don't. And it shouldn't come to that. But it goes back to be left alone, or they want to go be left alone, let them. Don't be going and following them. Let's see, I'm trying to think what else. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and I'll continue it whenever I think. Like I said, guys, I'm thinking of this as I go. So, alright. Don't try to belittle them. Don't try to make fun of them. I'll give you an example. One time I was at Walmart, and you got two sides. You got your food side and you got your pharmacy side. Well, I always park in the same place every time I go into Walmart, and I always go in on the pharmacy side. And I like to go at night when there ain't many people around. So I came, whenever I got checked out, the pharmacy side had done closed. So I had to go out the food side. What did I do? I went straight out the door, straight across to the parking lot where I always park my truck. My truck wasn't there. I looked all over the place for my truck. I went back inside and I told management that somebody had stolen my truck. I called the police up there and was in the middle of making out a stolen vehicle report. And I guess cars and stuff had then started clearing out. And then I looked over to the side, and way over on the other side of the parking lot where I left my truck, there it was. Before then, the girl that I was dating, I called her, told her what happened, said she'd come pick me up. So her and her daughter, they was on their way to come pick me up. And so whenever I found my truck, I called her back. I told her, don't worry about it, that I found it. And I explained to her what happened, what I did. And she just laughed and laughed and laughed. Gave me so much grief. Made fun of me. I understand that to me at the moment it wasn't funny. Now sometimes a little bit it is. And it's okay to maybe laugh about it for a minute and then just go on about your day. But she just kept on and on and on. Just would not let me live that down. And the only thing that done was just piss me off even more. So, again, be supportive. Don't try to belittle that person. Don't try to make that person feel like that they're going crazy or stuff like that. Just don't do it. Be supportive. That is the number one thing, is be supportive. Whenever you're out just in public, I mean, something as simple as driving down the road like I'm doing right now. Again, for like a veteran, they could see a certain type of vehicle and it could bring back memories. If, vehicle come up behind them. Something as simple as a trash bag laying on the side of the road. that can set off a flashback, because over there, they use stuff like that to set roadside bombs off. And if that person had ever experienced that, then every time they drive by a trash bag, they could speed up or slow down or just get nervous just by seeing a trash bag on the side of the road or a pile of boxes or whatever. So that sun's bright. But not always. It depends on what that person needs to calm them down. And that's another thing that you need to get to know. You need to know not only what triggers them, but you need to know what calms them. Something as simple as, you ain't got to say anything. Just something as simple as putting your hand on their shoulder or their arm or their leg or whatever. Just something as simple as that can calm them. It ain't got to be much. That still doesn't mean if you're in a public place that, I can just put my hand on the shoulder and we'll be okay. No. You need to respect his wishes and get out of there. Like I've said before, a veteran's safe place is home. So if he ever has, or they ever have a situation where they're going through an anxiety attack or something like that, and they say it's time to go, that means it's time to go home. So be respectful of his wishes and support him or her. Living with a veteran can be life-changing for you as well. It can have a major impact on you. Sometimes y'all may just have to just go separate ways. I don't mean like go separate ways, just split up. I mean, one of you go in one room, the other one go in another room. Just both of you just sort of calm out. It may take longer for one of you than the other. That's okay. Respect that. A veteran can have trust issues. And I mean, sometimes we can have big trust issues. We get angry easy. We can be jealous. Me, I'm pretty much the type of person that I will trust you with my life until you break that trust. When you break that trust, it's almost impossible to get it back. It can be done, but it's going to be very, very hard. Times that, like, say if you go out somewhere, they may be asking, well, where are you going? Who are you going to be with? What time you getting there? When you going to be back? It doesn't necessarily mean, and the word narcissist, a lot of people want to sit here and say that, well, he acts like that, he's a narcissist. Not necessarily. That's the problem. Nobody wants to take the time to understand basically, whenever we ask those questions, it's not because we're jealous or we're trying to keep tabs of you or stuff like that. It's because that we're worried. Our minds are always, and I mean always, day and night, going 100 miles an hour. And it does not shut off. We stress and worry about everything. Is our wife or our husband okay? Are they going to be okay? Are our kids going to be okay? Everything. Are the bills going to get paid this month? I didn't wash my car yesterday. I didn't have time. Stress out about that. It's little things. So, whenever they ask those types of questions, like I said, it's not because they don't trust you. It's because they just want to know when you're going to be back, so that way if you're not back at a certain time, then they can expect that. They can start, I guess, checking to make sure that you're okay. Because if you don't let them know, then they don't know. So now they're going to be sitting there just stressing themselves out, wondering if you're okay. I do that all the time with my son. All the time. I got my son on Live 360. And I keep up with him all the time, just wanting to make sure that he's okay. Not because I'm there trying to keep tabs on him and all that mess, because I want to make sure he's okay. I'm a firefighter. Every time that our pager or radio goes off, and especially if it says it's an accident, a vehicle accident, first thing I do is get on my phone and see where he's at. Make sure he's okay. But I know I'm missing something, because there's a lot more. And I apologize, but don't just watch my videos. There's plenty of videos out there on this subject. So go watch them all. Somebody may have something better than me to offer as far as help and stuff. So go check them out. Google it. Read up on it. And don't just sit there and try to study and research what you need to do. Research as far as the veteran or the person with PTSD. Research all the different signs and symptoms of that. Go back and watch one of my other previous videos about signs and symptoms and stuff like that. Again, there's plenty more out there. Recognizing PTSD. And that goes back to another thing. Don't sit here and just constantly nag that, well, you got a problem. You need to go get help. And do not do that. I can't sit here and tell you the ways to maybe get that out and let them know, but just coming out and saying that you got a problem, you're crazy, you need help, that's not the way to do it. watch them all. And get around some of this traffic now. But like I said, the main thing is that number one thing: be supportive and respectful. Respect their wishes. And don't sit here and nag them and think that they don't love you anymore, they don't care about you anymore. Because guess what? Sometimes they can be thinking the same exact thing. So it goes two ways. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, and like I like to say, or like to end my videos, is that veterans, those of you with PTSD, you are not alone. Family members, those of you that are living with people with PTSD, you are not alone. You can go get help, and as far as talking to somebody and things like that, that's another thing. If a veteran comes up and starts talking about his problems or their problems, stuff like that, don't cut them off and then, well, you should have, you wouldn't believe the kind of day that I had, and stuff like that. Again, there's a time and place for everything. So, and then if he comes up having problems, then don't sit there and try to have all the answers and try to solve the problems. They don't want you to do that. They don't want the answers. Sometimes they don't even want you to talk. They just want somebody to listen to them. Just listening, just sitting there not saying a word and just listening, can make the biggest difference in their lives. Because they know that they can depend on somebody that they can talk to. Because a lot of times we'll hold it in, and there's only certain people that we may tell our problems to. So if you're one of those persons, you ought to feel special, because that means that they trust you enough to share that information with you. So, but again, I'm gonna get off here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope it helped somebody. But again, just like it does for the veterans or those with PTSD, for those of you that are living with somebody with PTSD, you are not alone. You are not alone. I love you. God bless. Semper Fi.